One round down, 5 rounds to go. Hello everybody and welcome to Velocitta in Brazil for round 2 of a 6-round season for the Porsche Cup C6 Bank MasterCard. We are about to start the qualifying sessions in this beautiful circuit with its 3,438 meters and 12 turns run counterclockwise. On Friday's practice, Werner Neugebauer topped the charts in Carrera Cup, followed by Enzo Elias and Miguel Paludo. In Sprint Challenge, Marcelo Tomassoni was the fastest, with a flying lap at the end of the session. Marcio Mauro followed in second, with Christian Moore in third. You're going to watch this qualifying session with me, Sergio Vago, and with Gustavo Zanon. Hello Gustavo, welcome. This time around, qualifying will be different from what we had in the first round in Goiânia.
Good morning, Sergio. Good morning to all racing fans around the world. Yes, we will have some sort of a Q3, with the top 10 from the Carrera Cup and from the Sprint Challenge, which will add up a little bit like we see there on the screen. The first quali will be with the rookie class in Carrera class drivers, the second quali with Carrera Cup and Carrera Sport, and then the top 10 fighting for the pole, so we can have like a session with the top 10 drivers fighting for pole position here. Let's hear Renata.
O clima aqui, já está bem agitado na área de boxe. Você falou da questão da chuva. Realmente não temos previsão, né? Ali na previsão não aparece chuva. Existem algumas nuvens escuras por aqui, Luke, mas acho que no fim vai ser só para dar uma amenizada no calor que faz aqui em Mogi, e acho que isso vai ajudar, porque a gente sabe que a pista daqui do Velocitta é uma pista que desgasta demais o piloto fisicamente. Então, esse ventinho, né, essa nuvenzinha aqui dando uma ajuda, com certeza vai favorecer e muito. Estou por aqui, a galera que está acompanhando a transmissão, que é fã de automobilismo, de velocidade e quiser mandar pergunta, estou por aqui e vou falar com os pilotos aqui. O que você precisar também pode me chamar.
Yeah, so we had there Renata saying that there is no rain coming to Velocitta. It's a racetrack, a very modern racetrack located in a farm about 200 miles away from the São Paulo capital, so there is no rain in sight, so we're probably gonna have a clean quali and also a clean race one this afternoon, Sergio.
Yes, we have there Lineu Pires. This first round will have the rookie class, so this will have 10 minutes with the rookie class, with the rookie category. Then we'll have more 10 minutes with Carrera, the overall, and Carrera Sport, and then we'll have the top 10 as you explained, the top 10, so we find out who is going to be the pole position for the first race, which will happen this afternoon. As always, there are 2 races per round. We'll have first race this Saturday afternoon, first the race for Carrera Cup, then for the Sprint Challenge, and then the second race for each category will be on Sunday. So we'll have a full weekend of activities in Velocitta, Gustavo.
Yeah, Sergio. So we see there Lineu Pires was the pole. He was the pole man with 2 victories in the first round there in Goiânia. So he's having a great season so far, Lineu Pires, as we can see. And it's a beautiful day here in Velocitta. Sun has come out, so we expect a lot of good racing here on this Saturday and also on Sunday for the Porsche Cup.
Yes, last year Velocitta was received the first round for the
Deixa eu aproveitar
Porsche
o seguinte, ele não vai para a pista agora, só daqui a pouquinho. Enzo
MasterCard
Elias.
Bank.
Bom, começamos a temporada com muitas
second
emoções
round.
lá em
Let's listen to
Goiânia. Uma
Renato.
corrida que não saiu do jeito como você queria, aconteceu ali um imprevisto, depois uma corrida de recuperação emocionante. E agora chegamos aqui no Velocitta, segundo melhor tempo no treino de ontem, e aí tá calmo, expectativa, conta pra gente, a adaptação do carro agora também pra cá.
Goiânia realmente não foi o que a gente estava esperando, a gente tinha um ritmo muito bom, mas imprevistos acontecem, tem coisas que a gente não controla. A única coisa que eu podia fazer era tentar minimizar o prejuízo na corrida 2, e foi o que a gente fez. A gente conseguiu somar bons pontos diante do cenário, E agora a Velocitta é uma corrida, é uma etapa que a gente precisa pontuar, que a gente precisa voltar para a briga no campeonato. A gente já mostrou que tem ritmo para isso nos treinos opcionais e no treino livre. Essa pole position é muito importante para a gente brigar. E então eu vou fazer de tudo para poder tentar largar na primeira fila hoje mais tarde. Tô bem confiante com o carro sem os freios ABS. Eu acho que eu consegui me adaptar bem, por mais que seja uma condição muito difícil. Mas é isso, daqui a alguns minutos a gente vai realmente ver como é que vai ser. E o tempo tá virando um pouco, a gente tá de olho nisso. É um pouquinho preocupante, mas a gente vai pilotar do jeito que tiver para pilotar e eu vou para cima, vou buscar.
Preocupante mais ou menos, viu, Luque Monteiro? Porque a gente sabe que Enzo Elias gosta de chuva e se dá muito bem na chuva. Mas sabe o que é legal? Como a gente está começando a transmissão, quem está acompanhando a gente agora, queria que você fizesse um panorama da pista em si. A gente sabe que é uma pista que tem muita dificuldade de ultrapassagem. Você está com um carro novo, 992. E aí eu queria que você falasse um pouquinho de como você enxerga a pista aqui do Velocitta, a nível de competitividade.
Bom, a pista do Velocitta eu acredito que ela seja uma das pistas mais técnicas a qual eu já pilotei. É realmente muito difícil, pontos de freadas complexos, subidas, descidas. Uma pista que não tem muita velocidade, mas tem muita técnica. E a gente já sabe que são carros que apresentam uma dificuldade para ultrapassagem por conta da pressão aerodinâmica. E é uma pista não tão fácil de ultrapassar. Mas eu acredito que essa nova mudança com os freios ABS vão dar mais condições para nós pilotos para uma corrida um pouco mais dinâmica, com um pouco mais de ultrapassagens, disputas. Mas de qualquer sorte o classificatório vai ser muito importante. Eu acredito que quem souber defender bem vai conseguir defender bem a posição aqui em Velocitta.
Obrigada, Enzo. E agora vamos saber quem que está defendendo aí na Hulk, Luque.
Yes, Sergio, we had there Enzo Elias, one of the young guns there for the Porsche Carrera Cup. He had a very tough start of the season because he was riding second on race 1 there in Goiânia, and he ended up having a flat tire. And he made a very good recovery race, the second race, finishing 5th. And he said that for today he wants to be on pole because that's important for him to go back to championship contention. He's saying that Velocitta is a very technical track. There's not a lot of high speed there. There's not a lot of overtaking spots, but with the ABS brakes, the drivers are driving without the ABS brakes here, so they will have more conditions to do overtaking here in Velocitta, Sergio.
Yes, that's a very important point he makes. Oh, we have problem there. Let's find out which car is there. Right now, Lineu Pires is the fastest so far among the rookie class. So we have only 8 cars on the track. And let's check what happened in overall. I don't know if you can find out there, Gustavo. Who is in there? We still have to figure out.
I think it's João Barbosa.
João Barbosa. Yeah, let's double check. Let's see what happened. Yeah, that's definitely João Barbosa. You were totally right, Gustavo. So we saw him. It was not even a hard hit. He lost control there, and now he's going back to the track. So we don't have a full yellow flag or any problem like that, so we can follow with Lineu Pires still in first, doing a very, very good job so far.
Yeah, Lineu Pires with the fastest lap here in the session, 129.188. And one thing that also Enzo Elias mentioned, Sergio, because they were looking at the skies there in Velocitta, and they were saying that there are some heavy clouds there in sight, so it wouldn't be off the charts having heavy rain, but as of now it doesn't seem like it. And talking about Lineu Pires, there it is, another
That's
driver
Nelson
there.
Monteiro. That's Nelson Monteiro.
Monteiro, he was having the third best time overall here.
Exactly. Silvio de Barros is second so far. Then we have Nelson Monteiro. Then Bruno Campos is in fourth. And there we see when Nelson Monteiro lost contact with the track. Wow, that was almost, there was a heavy hit there, but no problem. So Nelson Monteiro is back on track. In fifth is Gustavo Farah, good effort by Gustavo Farah. Then we have Edu Guedes in 6th. In 7th we have Paulo Souza, and then in 8th we have João Barbosa who had that problem. So it definitely didn't help him, Faldon, because he had a better time before, and now he's back on top again. João Barbosa, no, he's actually 9th. So Silvio de Barros is in 2nd.
Yeah, and Lineu Pires, who had already a pole position there in Goiânia, just flying around here with a difference from his fastest lap to the second place, Silvio de Barros, as you mentioned, 0.7. So a great lap by Lineu Pires here. He already has 5 laps on board here with his car. Now he heads to the pits with a minute and a half to go. It doesn't seem like his time will be topped, Sergio.
Yes, Lineu Pires was 5th overall in the free practice on Friday. So it shows how impressive he's been this season so far. Lineu Pires, he's in the rookie class. I even wonder, Gustavo, if he shouldn't go at least to the sport class, because he's totally ahead of competition right now in this rookie class. And then we see the car of Bruno Campos. Oh, problems for Silvio de Barros. Silvio de Barros almost hitting the barrier, yeah, but he was able to survive. Let's see again what happened to Silvio de Barros. Let's see Silvio Barros.
His car jumped a little bit. It seemed that he put his tire, braking. He missed the braking spot there.
Yeah, and it comes back to me what Enzo said, and you really pointed again. That's a very technical circuit, very difficult for the drivers. That's Gustavo Farah, who again have problems. So it's so far, Faldon, a very eventful qualifying session for the rookie class.
Yeah, and as Elias mentioned, the ABS will bring a new challenge to these cars here, as we can see. Actually, Gustavo Farah seems to have lost the rear here on turn 1.
Yes, the cars are without ABS for the second round. They are in the same with the same technical specifications for the Porsche Super Cup, which is run alongside the F1.
So end of session here. End of session. So Lineu Pires with the fastest lap in this first qualifying session by far, Sergio. So Lineu Pires will start on pole in the rookie class for this afternoon's race.
Yeah, and Nelson Monteiro was able in the final part of the session to get second fastest. So Silvio Barros was in second. Now Silvio Barros is in third. In fourth will be Bruno Campos. And then Edu Guedes, Gustavo Farah is in sixth. And then we have Paulo Souza, and at the very end, João Barbosa.
Luque.
And now let's listen to Renata.
É isso aí, Max Wilson, seja muito bem-vindo, muito bom te ter aqui. É isso, vim falar com o Lineu, que ontem deu uma reclamada de dor no pescoço, nos braços, se adaptando sem o ABS aqui no Velocitta. Parece que já se recuperou, mandou bem aí nesse tempo do treino. E eu queria que você comentasse como é que foi pra você.
O ABS foi muito complicado com a gente no começo, mas eu acho que o pessoal da 38 já tá... Faz um ano só que a gente andou de TAP sem ABS, acho que foi uma vantagem pra gente. O pescoço é uma pista que judia bastante aqui, mas não tem o que fazer, tem que correr. E agora a gente fez um tempo muito parecido com o que a gente fez no treino oficial. Agora é esperar o top 10, ver se a gente consegue entrar e fazer uma classificação boa, conseguir colocar bastante gente entre eu e o segundo da categoria e esperar a corrida.
Ele tá querendo repetir a dose de Goiânia, né, Lineu?
Exatamente, o Goiânia foi perfeito, o Pole, as duas corridas a gente venceu. Agora vamos tentar fazer de novo, a Pole já garantiu Agora vamos às 2 corridas.
Obrigada. Luke, Max.
Here it is, Sergio Lineu Pires. He said that the ABS was a complicated thing for him in the beginning, but he was already used to riding without ABS. And he said that Velocitta is a track that demands a lot from the driver's neck, because there's a lot of turn, there's a lot of going up and down the hill. So he hopes to be in the top 10 and see if he can get inside the top 10 to fight for pole position overall here, Sergio.
Yes, last year he was in the 3.8 Porsche GT3 3.8 that now is the Sprint Challenge, we can call it. It was the Sprint Challenge last year now with its new name, and then they didn't have ABS, so that's what he said. So in a way it was easier for him to get used. And now we are with the Carrera Cup, the Sport class and the overall Carrera Cup with Marcel Miller. He had a great race in Goiânia. He got the pole position, a new track record, best lap. He won race 1, and he was second in race 2. So it was an almost perfect weekend in the first round for Marcel Miller, who leads the championship so far. He has 40 points against 36 points for Christian Ham. That is Marcel Miller. We are now in the second session, and then the top 10 will of both the rookie class and this session will compete for the pole position. There we have, you saw the car for Francisco Horta. And it's a beautiful circuit, Gustavo Faldon. I love this circuit. I've been there a couple of times. It's really, really nice. It's located inside a farm. It's a private circuit, but it's been used by the main Brazilian categories. Porsche Cup has been competing there for a while. The circuit was inaugurated in 2012, and it receives, among other categories, it receives Stock Car Brazil as well.
Yeah, and Porsche Cup actually debuted this circuit. It was the first Brazilian category to race here in Velocitta a decade ago almost. And it's a racetrack. Yes. Yeah, and it's a racetrack also used for a lot of testing, a lot of shows, and a lot of events. I remember there was a year that there was a Ferrari event there when the Formula One came to Brazil, where Sebastian Vettel raced in this track. So a lot of high-profile drivers are racing this track, and also that includes the Porsche Cup drivers. There is Christian Ham.
Christian Ham, who is second overall in the championship. He was fourth in race 1 in Goiânia, and he won race 2. So he's been doing a very good campaign so far. Christian Ham with the car number 26. Great work by him. In the championship, as I said, he's in second. There you see Werner Neugebauer. Werner Neugebauer with the white car there. Last year he was with a brownish car, a very typical brown. He was fifth in race 1 in Goiânia, and then he was fastest this morning on Friday on the free practice. But in the championship, he had a problem in the second race, and he ended up not scoring. So he has 14 points, his 9th overall. But that might be a very good chance for him, Gustavo, to recuperate in the standings. And this is Miguel Paludo, who is the current champion. He was the Carrera Cup champion both in 2020 and 2021, and he was third in both races in Goiânia. So that puts him fourth in the championship, 6 points behind Marcel Miller. He's tied actually with Alceu Feldman with the same number of points, but in the tie break, Alceu Feldman is ahead of him.
Yeah, and in the second race, on Sunday's race, Sergio, Miguel Paludo will complete 150 Porsche Cup races, so just adding up to his legend status in this category.
Yeah, it's definitely a beautiful number. There we have Franco Giaffoni with the Porsche number 3. Beautiful, beautiful car. I like this. Very, very classy. This is number 3 from Franco Giaffoni. So far we have Lineu Pires on top of the standings, but this session the drivers still didn't get their best times yet. And Franco Giaffoni finished second in both races in Goiânia in the sports class, okay? In the sport class, he was second, so he had a very good race in Goiânia as well, and the only problem for him, I would say, it was Lineu Pires, who was even better than he was.
Yeah, we saw that Christian Hahn there going wild a little bit, so was able to return to the racetrack. And Christian Hahn, he won the second race there in Goiânia. He did also a great first race, finishing fourth, and he now sits in second in the championship Carrera Cup standings.
Yeah, he's 18th in this qualifying session, but we still have 6 minutes to go, a little bit under 6 minutes to go. Marcel Miller is the only driver so far. Oh, Christian Hahn gets first. So great lap by Christian Hahn, and he is ahead of Marcel Miller. Oh, one important thing we didn't mention yet, Gustavo, is that the drivers are using the BOP, the balance of performance, according to their position in the standing. So Marcel Miller is carrying 50 kilos in his car. Christian Hahn is carrying 45 kilos, but anyway, we have this difference between the drivers in the second round that's happening in Velocitta.
Yeah, and one thing that is a little bit curious, Sergio, is that Miguel Paludo wasn't able yet to get a good lap. Let's see here in his third lap if he gets a good lap, because he's only 21st here with a 132.1 here so far. So we usually are used to him being in the top 5 in the Carrera Cup here. Let's see if now there he is. And Miguel Paludo third, 128.8, but he already falls to fourth because Werner Neubauer with the second best time, 128.621. Great lap by Werner Neubauer.
And Marcel Miller is again ahead. Marcel Miller is again on top.
Yeah, and Werner Neubauer didn't have a good first round.
Na pista logo agora no Quali, né? Nem começaram as corridas ainda do final de semana. Eu tô aqui num espaço muito especial que é novidade nessa etapa. O lounge VIP tá muito maior agora, numa posição privilegiada, com a pista aqui para os convidados, para os patrocinadores conseguirem acompanhar tudo isso de perto. E a Regina Franzé, diretora de marketing e de eventos da Porsche Cup, pode falar um pouquinho melhor desse espaço que você está esperando todo mundo esse final de semana?
Sim, Rê, a gente fez assim um espaço exclusivo aqui para os patrocinadores, com essa vista maravilhosa aqui do Velocitta, que eu considero o autódromo mais bonito do Brasil. Então o convidado vai poder vir aqui, ficar bem acomodado, ver a corrida de perto, ver os carros de perto, conseguir ver um pódio, ter a experiência com a Swift, com a Spaten, Oakberry. Acho que assim, é uma experiência bem completa que a gente está proporcionando aos convidados.
Sensacional. Então, patrocinadores e convidados já vão saber. E ó, tem um telão gigante mostrando o Quali aqui. Vamos falar então.
Yeah, and there is Renata with Regina Franzé, the Porsche Cup Brazil marketing director. They were showing the exclusive VIP session here that they set up in Velocitta with an exclusive space for the sponsors, where the guests stay there and they have a beautiful view of the main straight. They are also very, very comfortable there. They have the sponsors like Swift, like Oakberry, so that they can watch the race from a privileged spot, Sergio.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice spot to be. Porsche Cup C6 Bank Mastercard in Brazil is also open to the public. The public can buy tickets to go to the races, so this is very important as well. while we see Werner Neugebauer. He's currently second in the charts, but we still have a third session to define the pole position with the top 10 of these first two qualifying sessions. So right now, Werner Neugebauer is second, Christian Ham is first, then Pedro Aguiar got a really good third position, but we still have 2 minutes to go, Gustavo, so we still have time for some drivers to improve their times.
Yeah, so great lap by Christian Hahn here, 128.0. This is the fastest lap we have seen so far by a driver this weekend in this session. So great lap by him. Werner Neugebauer is second, Pedro Aguiar third, Marcel Miller only fifth, already in the pit, so he won't be putting up a fastest lap because they already guaranteed their spot in the top 10, and that's where they will fight for the big pole position in a minute and a half, Sergio.
This is Enzo Elias trying to improve his time. He's 6th at this point. Let's see if he improves when he crosses the line. Enzo Elias, and wow, he goes
Pode
to
deixar, eu vou
second
pegar essa
fastest.
informação.
Enzo Elias with this beautiful lap close to the end of this qualifying session. And there we have number 1, Alceu Feldman. Alceu Feldman, who is from Curitiba. He was born in the state of Santa Catarina, but he lives in Curitiba. He is third place in the championship with 34 points. He was second in race 1 in Goiânia and fourth in race 2. As I said before, he has the same number of points that Miguel Paludo has, but Miguel Paludo has 2 third places, and Alceu got a second and a fourth. So the second position for him in the second race in Goiânia gives him the third position in the championship in the tie-break. There he is. Let's see if he improves his time. Alceu Feldman will cross the line. He's 11th at this point, and I believe he'll finish 11th. So out of the last session. Let's see if he'll try again, yet another lap. Yeah, that has not been a very good qualifying session so far for Alceu Feldman, Gustavo Faldon. It will be really heartbreaking if he doesn't go to the final session, which will determine the pole position.
Yeah, he's here running for his life in 11th, Sergio, and I believe that he's on a fast lap because he crossed the line there before the clock expired, so he still has probably this last lap here to try to get into the top 10 and go fight for the pole. Let's see here.
Yeah, so this is the only change that we might see. Christian Ham is the fastest so far, Christian Ham. Then Enzo Elias, Werner Neugebauer, Pedro Aguiar, Miguel Paludo, Marcel Miller, Lucas Salles, Giorgio Frangulis, Renan Pizzi, and Rodrigo Melo. So if Alceu Feldman gets better than Rodrigo Melo will be out of the last session. Let's see when he crosses the line if Alceu Feldman is able to improve his time. And no, he finishes 11th. So Alceu Feldman is out of the third and final qualifying session with the top 10 in from the first 2 qualifying sessions. Too bad for him, Gustavo.
Yeah, too bad, a little bit frustrating because he's fighting for championship contention, but let's see here the final results, Sergio. And for Alceu Feldman, I mean, he has to try to get at least in the race in the top 8, because with the grid inversion he might be on pole for the second race and save some good points.
So there you have the top 10: Christian Ham, Enzo Elias, Werner Neugebauer, Pedro Aguiar, Miguel Paludo, Marcel Miller, Lucas Salles, and Giorgio Frangulis, both from the sport class. And then we have Renan Pizzi and Rodrigo Melo. After that, all these positions are already set from 11th down, are already set for the race this Saturday afternoon. Alceu Feldman in 11th, Roman Zinkiewicz, Lineu Pires, Franco Giafone, Edu Menossi in 15th, then Nelson Monteiro, Silvio de Barros, Bruno Campos is 18th, Francisco Horta 19th, Edu Guedes 20th. So these are the top 20, and then closing the grid, Gustavo Fará, Paulo Souza, and João Barbosa, all these 3 drivers from the rookie class. So now we'll have the third. Oh, look how beautiful!
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Gustavo. When I was there the first time, the second time as well, I was really impressed. You know, it's beautiful. It's a very nice scenery. You know, in an area with many farms. It's located like a little bit under 200 kilometers from São Paulo. I believe around 2-3 hours. You go there from wherever you are in São Paulo if you don't get much traffic. So it's a nice area. It's a very good place.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. We see there some drivers saying that it's the most beautiful circuit that they drive around the year. It's one of the most modern circuits. So Velocitta is certainly one of the favorite circuits.
Exatamente, já vai pra pista de novo. Chegou com todo o gás que trouxe de Goiânia, é isso, Cris?
Renata.
É claro, a gente vem aí de uma vitória aí na segunda corrida de Goiânia. Infelizmente lá na classificação, o Paulo teve um problema nos freios durante o treino. A gente não teve a oportunidade de brigar na classificação. Mas agora que a gente está tendo essa oportunidade, está dando tudo certo. Estamos aí na primeira posição por enquanto. Espero conseguir segurar, largar na pole. Aqui é um circuito mais difícil de passar. Então muita coisa vai depender disso.
Obrigado e bom treino. Obrigado. Bora pro top 10.
Yeah, and there is Christian saying that he comes from a victory in Goiânia, and he had a problem with his car during the practice, but he was able to fix it. And he's saying that he's hoped to be on pole because here in Velocitta, Sergio, it's a very tough circuit to overtake because the only overtaking spot is the main straight, and it's not a very long main straight. So the big overtaking spot here is right on turn 1, where you can have different braking spots, but it's very tough to overtake. So that's why the drivers are going to be putting their all they have here for the pole position.
Yeah, it's very important, this qualifying session. You see there the Zikevich car, and then we have Franco Giafone. You know, these images of this first session, and soon we'll have the top 10. Then after that, we'll have the sprint challenge qualifying, which will have the same format. We'll first have a 10-minute session with the rookie class, then sport and overall sprint challenge.
A gente fez uma volta boa agora, mas tem uns pontos aí para melhorar. A segunda volta rápida do pneu eu não acertei. E vamos tentar encaixar os trechos agora aí para tentar brigar por essa pole.
Obrigada, bom treino, Luke.
Yeah, we see there Marcel Miller. He was saying that he did a good lap in the first quali session, but he still sees room for improvement there to try to go for pole.
Look how beautiful this image with Roman Zinkevich. Wow, that's really impressive. Now we have Christian Hum. He put a really great effort. I would say he's one of the big challengers for the championship this year, Gustavo. He's having a great start this season, and we have to pay attention to Christian Hum.
Yeah, for sure, Sergio. He came out fighting for the championship. He won the second race in Goiânia, so he'll surely be bothering because, like we said in the last round, I think that the Carrera Cup title will be between probably these four or five drivers. I would say Marcel Miller, Christian Hahn, Alceu Feldman, Miguel Paludo, and probably, I don't know, Enzo Elias there or Werner Neugbauer. So it will be between these drivers, and it's unpredictable. You know, you don't know who's going to win at the end because they are so high level, and the championship is so close that each race and each point counts.
And as we've seen before, Gustavo, we see that we already have almost a minute and a half of this final qualifying session, and no car has yet hit the track. So they all been waiting for at least the last minutes of the session. They don't want to go now, so it's important to it will be very interesting, the final minutes of the session when we will find out the pole position. There is Miguel Paludo going finally to the track. Then after him, we saw Pedro Aguiar, and now all the cars are going. So the time will be not as much as they could have, but I'm sure they have the best strategy.
Yeah, and the clock is running here, less than 8 minutes. So we can see who will be on pole for the race this afternoon. We see there Enzo Elias. He started 23rd in race 2 there in Goiânia. We mentioned him as a driver of the day last Sunday, and he finished 5th. So a great recovery race from him in the last round, because he had a flat tire in race 1 while he was fighting for the lead in the penultimate lap. So let's see if he can have a better weekend here in Velocitta. And may we remember, Sergio, he is a very, very, very talented driver, young driver, very, very talented driver.
Yes, he was runner-up in the championship in 2020. Last year, he didn't do so well, but we'll be paying attention to him this year. He didn't have a great start last year. I believe he didn't have a great start as well. So, and now it's the Monday session, Gustavo, because as we said before, and it was mentioned by the drivers, track position is very, very important in Velocitta. So now they put their best, very best effort. I've seen overtaking here. It's not impossible, and I'm sure we'll see some action in the race this afternoon. But it's really tougher than in many other tracks.
Luke?
Let's listen to Renata.
Bom, quem lutou até o final, né, para conseguir participar do Top 10 foi o Alceu Feldman. Queria entender se aconteceu alguma coisa com o carro. E também agora briga pelo campeonato. Tá garantindo a 3ª posição e vai brigar esse final de semana por isso, para continuar ali.
Nós estamos bem no campeonato, fomos bem em Goiânia. Tinha uma boa esperança aqui, mas a classificação não foi boa. O carro ficou traseiro, não achamos o grip no carro inteiro e acabamos não conseguindo ficar em ficamos 11º com menos de meio décimo do décimo. Mas não ia adiantar muito, o carro não estava bom. Eu ia largar em 8º, talvez, não ia melhorar tanto. Vamos ver o que vai acontecer na corrida agora.
Tudo pode acontecer na corrida.
Tudo pode acontecer, vamos lá.
Obrigada, Alceu. Luke?
Yeah, and there it is also. Felt a little bit frustrated, obviously, because he was planning to go in the top 10. He's saying that he didn't find the grip, a lot of grip during his laps, so that's why he wasn't able to go as fast as he can. The car was oversteering too much, and he said that if he had gone to the top 10, it wouldn't be too much because he would probably be starting in 8th, so in the tops. So that's why he said that he'll try to change a little bit of the setup so that he can have a better race this afternoon.
See Miguel Paludo now setting the fastest lap. He was the first to run a fast lap. Now he went back to 3rd. Renan Pizzi was the fastest, then Pedro Aguiar, then Paludo, Enzo Elias 4th. Renan Pizzi stays 1st. Wow, that's very interesting. And we have Lucas Salles in 2nd. He's from the sports class, very interesting, but they're still going to do at least one fast lap in all the drivers. They do at least one more fast lap. Miguel Paludo, Gustavo, didn't start this championship as well as he started last year. Last year he started with a win here in Velocitta in the first race. He started pole position, and then he went to Curitiba, which was the second round, in a very good situation, and he pretty much kept himself on top or close to the top during all championship. Now he's fourth, and he's fighting really hard here to get a fast time.
Yeah, and he's having a slow start here, but he is there, right, Sergio? And we remember everybody that at the end of the championship in the sprint races, you have to discard your two worst results. So it's not that bad to have bad weekends. For instance, like Enzo Elias said, it's not good either to have a bad weekend right on the first round. But there's still ground to make up, so the championship can change very quickly. And we know of Miguel Paludo's capability of winning races this year, since he is the second driver with the most wins in Porsche Cup history. He has 39, and Constantino Jr. leads all time in wins in Porsche Cup with 39. So, I'm sorry, Miguel Paludo has 36 and Constantino Jr. has 39.
So he might even get there still this year. Oh, look at that, almost losing control. Christian Ham, he's on top. He's the fastest car so far, and that was close. That was really close. Good control by Christian Ham. Enzo Elias is in second. Very good work by Enzo Elias. Marcel Miller is in third. Werner Neugebauer. Then we have Renan Pizzi. Oh, look at Rodrigo Melo. Rodrigo Melo loses control. He is in 10th overall. Let's see if he's going to be able to go back to the track. Let's see again what happened to him, Gustavo Faldon.
Yeah, he went straight there. His car didn't turn. Seemed a little bit of understeer there, and went a little bit to the grass, mowing some lawn there. But fortunately, he didn't hit the car and didn't collide with the wall or anything. He was able to get back. And you mentioned Christian Ansage. He was pushing his car to the limit. He wants this pole so bad here, and he is with a 128.282, and Enzo Elias is in second with a 128.30, and Werner Neugebauer now tops the charts here, 127.879. There it is, Werner.
Great lap by Werner Neugebauer. Christian Ham falls to second, Enzo Elias is third, then we have Miguel Paludo in fourth. I want to see Marcel Miller. Marcel Miller is in fifth so far. He leads the championship after the first round in Goiânia. I believe in Marcel Miller. Let's see what he can do. That's Pedro Aguiar. That is Pedro Aguiar. He's in ninth at this point overall. We see Miguel Paludo. Oh, Rodrigo Melo gives space to the other cars. We have a Pedro Aguiar there trying to improve his time, with Miguel Paludo a little bit ahead of him. Let's see Miguel Paludo crossing the line, if he's able to improve his time. He's fourth. No, he stays in fourth. So that was not a very good lap for Miguel Paludo, but he might be starting a fast lap now, Gustavo Faldon. Actually, most of the drivers might be starting their fastest laps now. Neugebauer tops the chart with Christian Ham, Enzo Elias, and Miguel Paludo fourth. But we might have changes until the end of the session.
Yeah, and Christian and Marcel Miller don't have any fast laps so far, so it's end of session for him. Let's see the other drivers here. And if this pole position for Werner Neugebauer confirms, it would be very important for him, because in the first round he was fifth in race 1 and he didn't have any points in race 2. So a pole position here and probably a win would be very good for him. There it is, Rodrigo Melo again.
Again, yes, Rodrigo Melo. Oh, Miguel Paludo, he's not going to try a better lap, so best scenario for him is fourth, where he currently stands. Let's see if there is any change there. We have, as we said, Pedro Aguiar, he's ninth overall. He's trying to improve his time. Let's see if he'll go to the last turn, and then he's going to cross the line. Let's pay attention. 9 for Pedro Aguiar. Oh, he improves for 6 overall. Great work by Pedro Aguiar. Ahead of Lucas Salles and Renan Pizzi, and also ahead of Georgios Frangoulis, who is in 9th.
Yeah,
and
so
Rodrigo Melo stays in 10th. Go ahead, Gustavo.
I was gonna say great pole position from Vernon Bauer, you know, because that surely helps his championship chances after such a terrible first round there in Goiânia. Vernon Bauer with his 5th career Porsche Cup pole, so very important result for him here.
Yes, and he was fastest on Friday, so he stays there. He's doing a very good work. First race, pole position, we have set for Vernon Bauer. For the second race, will depend on the results of the first race. The second race on weekend has the pole set pretty much by a draw between the 5th and the 8th, the 6th and the 8th. So depending on the draw, whoever finished 6th, 7th or 8th will start in the pole position for the second race on Sunday.
Parabéns
Renata.
especial de Denner Pires, hein?
Merecido, aí 4 décimos na frente do segundo, parabéns, velho.
É uma vantagem impressionante.
Parabéns pra equipe toda.
É isso aí. O treino de ontem já tinha mostrado que vocês tinham um carro bom de briga, mas essa vantagem foi surpreendente aqui.
Ontem o treino a gente sabia que tinha bastante folga, eu não consegui encaixar a volta e na verdade eu fui atrapalhado e a gente sabia que juntando todos os trechos a gente tinha uma volta ideal já com folga e hoje de manhã eu até comentando falei, pô, acho que o tempo da pole vai ser 7,90 e foi, né?
Mentalizou, aconteceu.
Muito bom, fazia tempo que eu não fazia pole.
E nessa pista é mais especial ainda, porque a gente sabe que é uma pista difícil de ultrapassar, né?
Aqui é essencial largar na frente e muito bom, né? Depois de zerar a segunda corrida no final de semana passado, liderando já com 2 segundos na primeira volta acho que era isso, de folga, é voltar pro campeonato.
Goiânia ficou no passado. Agora, Werner, você se adaptou super bem sem o ABS também.
Eu andei no 3.8, né, quando não era que... Então, foi só relembrar. Óbvio que quando a gente anda só com ABS, acaba viciando, mas eu consegui me adaptar rápido.
Não sei se vocês perceberam, mas ele tá bem emocionado, viu? Tô sentindo aqui. Não segura o choro não, é bom. Com vocês aí.
Yeah, and Vernon Bauer there, he got compliments from Denner Pires, the Porsche Cup Brazil director there. So he's saying that he got a good lap, and he had said that he thought that the pole time would be 1:27.9, and he ended up putting up a 1:27.8. So he said that it's essential here in Velocitta to start in front because of the lack of overtaking opportunities. And after the second race in Goiânia, which he didn't get any points, it's very good for him this result because he gets back in championship contention. And as for the ABS, he said that
quem tá com um sorrisão aqui também? Georgios Frangoulis. Cara, que legal poder disputar o top 10, hein?
Fazia acho que pelo menos uns 10, 12 meses que a gente não fazia isso. Sofri bastante com o ABS ano passado para aprender, vindo da 3.8. E aí agora a gente está andando sem ABS nessa etapa especificamente. E eu acho que eu consegui relembrar os velhos tempos. Já fiz pole aqui na Velocitta com o Gaetano 2 vezes, então é uma pista que eu gosto. E, foi ótimo.
Começando muito bem o final de semana, né, Gil?
Tô super animado. Acho que largar entre os 10 sempre ajuda bem a sair da bagunça que fica mais para trás. Ainda mais que o pessoal, eu me incluo nessa, bloqueando o pneu e tal. Quanto mais espaço você tiver, mais gente experiente em volta, melhor. Vamos ver se a gente faz uma corrida legal hoje.
Obrigada, parabéns. Isso que é legal de notar, né, Luke? Para alguns pilotos é uma memória recente, o fato de não ter ABS. Para outros é uma adaptação, enfim. E a gente vai sentindo isso na pista. Ele se deu bem também por causa disso.
And we saw that Giorgio Frangoulis and both Frangoulis and Vernon Bauer, because they have a 3.8 class, a sprint challenge experience, a recent sprint challenge experience where they didn't have ABS brakes. They were saying that didn't have to remember that
Olha,
much
quando a gente começou a transmissão, tinha
how
umas
it
nuvens
was to
muito
drive
escuras
without
desse lado aqui. O vento continua.
ABS because they
Agora
already
parece
had
que
that
limpou,
experience,
mas
so they
desse
just had
lado
to
tem uma
remember a
nuvem
little
bem
bit
carregada. Não
how
dá
it
pra
was.
saber, tá todo mundo falando, não tem previsão de chuva. Mas esse ventinho que eu tô
Let's listen to
sentindo
Renata
daqui,
again.
não sei. Eu acho que também tudo pode acontecer, viu?
Yeah, Renata was saying that even though people say that there is no rain in sight, they are doubting a little bit there in Velocitta because of some dark clouds, but as of now, it doesn't seem like it will rain. Let's hope it doesn't rain because we can see the drivers going full throttle. We have Sprint Challenge cars on the track, Sergio.
Yeah, so with the Sprint Challenge, you have the same situation as with the Carrera Cup. It's different from what happened in Goiânia, where we had only 2 qualifying sessions. First qualifying session with the rookie class, then the second qualifying session with the sports class, and the overall for Sprint Challenge. Now we'll have, like we had in Carrera Cup, a third session to find out who is going to be the pole position with the top 10 overall for the first 2 sessions. We see there Gustavo Zanon is the first driver to hit the track. Let's see what Gustavo Zanon can do in this qualifying session. So we have all the rookies there. That's very, very, very important. I like this, Gustavo, to have only the rookies because, you know, in general, they go a little bit slower than the other drivers. And as we have so many cars, you know, that makes things easier for both the rookies. It takes a little bit of the pressure from them, you know, to have to not commit any mistake, you know, when racing, let's say, with the main guys. And at the same time, when the other guys hit the track, they don't have to worry about the rookies, which is normal sometimes for them to make some mistakes.
Yeah, and it's better. They can have it doesn't have that many cars on the track at the same time, and each driver can have a better shot of putting up a fast lap without having some slower drivers in front of them. And so as of now, we don't have that many rookie class drivers in the Sprint Challenge, and it's better for them to have a clear air in front of them to try to put up a fast lap.
Piero Cifali is the third at this point. He was second, then he is third because Nasser Abutaif was faster than he was.
Look at...
We have 3 drivers on the track.
Olha aí, ó, só pra gente ter informação sobre a temperatura da pista.
Renata.
29.
Yeah, and they were measuring the track temperature right now, Sergio, and it's 29 degrees Celsius. So it's not that hot. We remember that in Goiânia it was 47, so it's not that hot here in Velocitta. 30 degrees right now Celsius, the track temperature, so it's not that hot. It doesn't overheat the tires, so it's also good for the drivers.
Yeah, it's not that bad. The first race of this weekend will happen this afternoon. It will be around 1 p.m. Brazilian time, 12 p.m. US Eastern time, or 4 p.m. GMT. So this will be the time for the races this afternoon. So be sure to follow us here to see what happens in the first races of the weekend, which will start the second round of the Porsche Sprint Challenge and the Porsche Carrera Cup in Brazil. Gustavo Zanon, Abutaif, and Piero Cifali are the 3 drivers so far. Gustavo Zanon has been able to stay ahead of the other 2, and we've seen a battle between Cifali and Abutaif for the second place in the rookie class.
Yeah, we see there Gustavo Zanon with the fastest lap so far. 132.7, so great lap by him. And with less than 6 minutes to go, it's very important for the rookie drivers here to try to put their best lap, because they won't have a second chance. So they have to get the prime temperature from the tires to set up a good lap.
Yeah, the difference so far, it's been over 2 seconds from Gustavo Zanon to Nasser Aboutaif, who is currently second. So it's really a big difference. Remember, this is where you start your Porsche career in Brazil. So these drivers are all learning, and I'm sure they will be improving in 2022. In the championship so far, Sang-Ho-Kim is the top. We don't see Sang-Ho-Kim, then Gustavo Zanon, Piero Cifali, Rafael Cardoso, and Nasser Aboutaif. That's in the championship, in the Sprint Challenge Rookie. First race was in Goiânia. The championship has the Porsche Cup C6 Bank Mastercar 2022 has 6 rounds. This is the second round. Each round has 2 races, and one of the rounds should be together with the Formula One race in Brazil. Traditionally, it happens with the Formula One in the same weekend as the Formula One race in Brazil in Interlagos. And also, we should expect yesterday, Gustavo, we had a very tough free practice. The drivers are very close together, the drivers for the Sprint Challenge, so disqualifying should get tougher when the other drivers come.
Yeah, for sure, Sergio, and it's also worth mentioning that this Velocitta track, the asphalt is very, how can I say, it's not brand new, but it's not old, so it's a very good asphalt for the drivers. And when there are lots of car running, it's easier to have an ideal tire temperature on it because the track stays hot. But with lesser cars, so the track might get cold. So let's see here how the next session drivers will adapt to that. As we see there, Gustavo Zanon completing his lap with under 3 minutes to go here in the rookie session, and he puts up his car to the pit lane. So I don't know if there is enough time for him to put up another fast lap. So he's probably happy with what he has so far, a 132.2, good lap, over 2.5 seconds ahead of Nasser Aboutaif. So he's probably happy with his rookie class pole.
Yeah, we have 3 cars from the rookie class here in Velocitta, but there are 5 cars competing for the championship. Sang-Ho-Kim and Rafael Cardoso are not here.
Correria, mas eu quero falar
And
com
we
o
will have
Marcelo
for the
Tomazoni,
race
Luke.
this
Deixa eu ver onde
afternoon
tá meu câmera, tá chegando
19
aqui. A gente
cars
fica em todos os
in the
lugares
Sprint Challenge.
para cobrir todas as imagens
Renata.
e mostrar para vocês realmente os bastidores. Mas estou aqui com o Marcelo Tomazoni, que voltou a correr com a gente nessa temporada, certo? E agora chegou no Velocitta com tudo, Marcelo. Ontem fez um baita de um tempo, mas você falou que foi um trabalho duro. Então como é que foi esse retorno para a categoria, essa adaptação?
2 anos sem andar, velocidade faz uma diferençazinha, sabe? Goiânia eu senti um pouco isso, e aí a gente trabalhou bastante, e ontem o dia foi bem produtivo. No último minuto do treino já acertou uma voltinha boa, e aí dá confiança para hoje, vamos embora. Vamos ver se a gente repete o dia de ontem, e vamos ver se você me entrevista aí quando acabar o treino.
Bom, então espero te encontrar daqui a pouco. Obrigada, bom treino, Luque.
And there is Marcel Tomazoni. He's saying that he was a little bit rusty, Sergio, because he stayed 2 years without driving here for Porsche Cup. And he's saying that the speed makes a difference. and he worked really hard yesterday during free practice sessions, and he was happy with he got a good lap at the end of the session, and he's saying that he's very confident for today's quali, and he's coming in the next session there for the sprint challenge.
Yeah, yesterday on Friday, he was the fastest 4/10 of a second ahead of Márcio Mauro. So it was an excellent time for Marcelo Tomassoni. And then Christian Moore got the third best lap, and Daniel Correa the fourth best lap yesterday in the free practice for the sprint challenge. And that was a great effort because the other three drivers, second, third, and fourth, were separated by 3/10 of a second. And the difference between Tomassoni and Márcio Mauro was 4/10. So he was really ahead of the other drivers on the free practice yesterday. We're getting to the end of this session. So we have Gustavo Zanon, who dominated this session ahead of Pedro Cifali and Nelson Abutaif. Actually, Nelson Abutaif is in second and Pedro Cifali is in third. So it was a battle between Abutaif and Cifali for a while.
E uma promessa, alguém que a gente tem que ficar de olho, que é bom de disputa na pista, Raijan Mascarello, sempre concentrado. Ontem não fechou um tempo muito bom no treino, certo, Raijan? Mas fez os ajustes necessários para ir para esse quali agora com toda a confiança?
Agora a gente vai para cima, né? Ontem era só para acertar o carro. Acho que a gente fez um acerto legal, principalmente para a corrida. A gente visa mais a corrida do que uma volta rápida. Claro que hoje largar em primeiro aqui nessa pista é de extrema importância, porque é muito difícil ultrapassagem. Mas a gente acho que está com um acerto legal e vamos para cima agora na classificação, tentar o P1.
Isso aí, obrigada. Agora que vale, Luque.
And we see there Raijan Mascarello. He's saying that he sets up his car for race conditions, you know. Even though he recognizes that here in Velocitta is very tough to overtake, and they will go full throttle here in the qualifying session to try to go for pole.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see what he'll be able to do. I believe it to be really, really tough to get ahead of Tomassoni, that he showed really a big strength yesterday, but hey, there are very, very nice drivers there. In the overall sprint challenge championship, Nelson Marcondes is the leader. After him is Raijan Mascarello, who we saw giving the interview, and Eamon Darwich is in third after the first two races of the first round in Goiânia. There we see Raijan Mascarello. He's second. He's 12 points behind Nelson Marcondes. So Nelson Marcondes was really ahead of the pack in the first round in Goiânia, Gustavo.
Yeah, and also Raijan Mascarello also had a good result in Goiânia, so that's why he sits there in second in the championship. Marcondes really was almost perfect in Goiânia because he started second, he finished second in the first race, and he won the second race. So he jump-started in the championship really well, and is now leading the championship with 40 points after round one.
That's Fontanari, Ricardo Fontanari with the number 17. And there we see some images so far, and soon we'll have the session. We are already starting the second session. Now this session will be very interesting, Gustavo. I believe it will be a very interesting session. And look how beautiful again the scenery. This image gives a great idea, you know. This is a very fertile soil in this area of Brazil, and we have to remember that the state of São Paulo is the most developed state in Brazil. It's really a very powerful state with very very rich state, both industrial and in agriculture. So very nice. So the cars are hitting the track. We saw there Ramon Alcaraz with the number 55. Now we have Marcel Mauro. Soon you have all the drivers. And for them, it remains the same situation, Gustavo, that they will have to get the best time. It's really important for them. Although last year, this race here for the sprint challenge was very, very interesting. In the first turn, I remember there was a cars losing the track, although last year we had some rain in the track. No driver yet has set up a time in this second session. We see the detail for Guilherme Bottura with the 117. There he is, Guilherme Bottura. In the championship, he is in 14th overall. I'll wait for him to do his best lap. You're watching the Porsche C6 Bank Mastercard 2022. This is the second round in Velocitta, a circuit located around almost 200 kilometers from São Paulo, from the city of São Paulo. First round was in Goiânia. There we saw car number 22 of Kyo Castro, and then we see the Christian Moore. There he is from the sprint challenge. He won race 1 in Goiânia, and then he had an accident in race 2. He's 5th in the championship with 22 points. So great start for Christian Moore.
Vamos falar com ele então, que veio nos visitar. Totaro, todo mundo sentindo a sua falta, todo mundo querendo saber de você, quando você volta, como você está, então conta pra gente.
Eu bati naquele treino oficial, aí fiquei desacordado, me levaram lá pro hospital, né? E aí tive um pequeno sangramento, e aí tem que reabsorver sozinho, enquanto isso agora eu tô fazendo um acompanhamento, assistência demais do pessoal aqui. Toda quarta-feira eu vou lá, faço uns testes e a gente vem melhorando progressivamente, mas não dá para correr ainda.
Recuperação nesse momento.
Tem que recuperar.
Para ficar 100%. Enquanto isso, você vem aqui só coordenar a turma.
Venho aqui prestigiar meus parceiros, né? Marcel Mauro vai fazer a pole hoje e o Marcel vai ganhar amanhã.
O que você achou do Marcel lá em Goiânia? Nada mal, né?
Foi bem pra caramba, né? Eu tava o tempo todo com ele. Tava o tempo todo com o Carbone falando, a gente se fala bastante. E até nem podia vir hoje aqui, a Eliana não deixou, mas o cara arrumou um helicóptero para me trazer, então eu vim aqui ver os meninos.
Muito bem. Tá bom? Obrigada pela sua presença.
Obrigado.
E boa recuperação. A gente está torcendo para sua volta muito em breve.
Vou ficar legal. Vou ficar bom.
Fechado. Obrigada, Luque.
Yeah, he was saying that he had a very tough accident in one of the free practices he stayed. He wasn't aware, he wasn't awake, but he's been doing some treatment in the hospital, and he hopes to get better and back to racing soon. And as of now, Sergio, we see there also Marcel Mauro with the fastest lap with a 1:31.383, so with the fastest lap here in the session, followed by Alcaraz and Fontanari.
Yes, these are the three first ones so far. Marcel Mauro, his bet was that Marcel Mauro was going to get the pole position. Let's see if Marcel Mauro can do that. Marcel Mauro, who started the championship. He's in 9th overall, so he didn't have a great start. That's Raijan Mascarello. He started last in the first race in Goiânia. He finished in 6th, and then in the second race, he finished in 2nd. So a great work by Raijan Mascarello, who is 2nd in the championship. There he is. He overtook at the very last meters in race 1, and he got 6th position. I don't know if you remember that. I'm sure you remember, Faldon. He was in a big battle with Eamon Darwich, and it was meters to the checkered flag, and he got 6th position.
Yeah, it was a very, very, very close finish there. And we see there Vina Neves. So this session, Sergio, we are having a very, very close top 2 that we see that Márcio Mauro and Urubatã Jr. are only 52 hundredths of a second apart. So very, very close fight here for the first position. But we remember, everybody, that what is counting here actually is going to the top 10, and then after you fight for the pole.
Yeah, I would say that Márcio Mauro and Urubatã Jr. are already there, you know. But let's wait. We gotta see. Mascarello now gets the top position. Márcio Mauro is 2nd, then Urubatã is 3rd, and Vina Neves gets 4th position. Great work by Vina Neves now. So we have Raijan Mascarello, Urubatã Jr. with car number 1. Very close, Gustavo. The top 8 drivers are separated by less than 1 second. The top 9 now are less than 1 second, and the top 8 are less than 7/10 of a second. They are separated, the separation between them. Márcio Mauro now is 5th. You see the car for Miguel Mariotti there, number 21. Go ahead, Gustavo.
No, I was just gonna say that Raijan Mascarello just put up a very, very great lap, and it would be very important for him, just like he said, Sergio. Even though his setup is based on the race, it would be very important for him, for his championship aspirations, start on pole position, because here Velocitta is a very, very tough track to overtake.
We see Miguel Mariotti right now. He's 10th. He was 9th. He lost 1 position, so has to stay in the top 10. Let's see what happens. And Mariotti, he improves. He goes to 8th. 8th best position. He's the best in the sport class so far. He's in the best in the sport class. And actually, him and Guilherme Bottura are the only 2 drivers for the sports class that right now are going to the final round with the 10 fastest drivers. There we see Kyo Castro. Kyo Castro, who is in 12th. He really needs to improve his time. Get to the top 10. Let's see if he won the race last year. It's his 2nd year in the Porsche Cup C6 Bank MasterCard. He was happy with what happened last year, and he's coming back. That's always a good sign. There we see the detail for car number 8 of Mascarello. Oh, what a problem for Guilherme Bottura. Guilherme Bottura lost control. Now we see Vina Neves.
Yeah, less than 2 minutes here. We have a battle here for the top 10. You know, let's see. Nelson Marcondes, as of now, it's out of the top 10. Let's see if he can get inside the top 10 and fight for pole.
Vina Neves will be able to do 1 more fast lap. We see him right now. He's in 7th. So he's going to the final round, to the top 10 round. And Nelson Marcondes, he leads the championship with 40 points. He was second in race 1 in Goiânia, and he won race 2. So he's been doing, he was almost perfect in Goiânia. He had a great first race as well. He battled for the first position. He wasn't able to get it, but overall in the championship, he's doing really, really well. Let's see what his time is now. He's going for a fast lap now. He's only in 11th. Gustavo, and he is not going to move from 11th.
Yeah.
There is no
He
way.
was giving his all there, certainly.
So the championship leader won't go to the final round, which will make it very interesting for the championship. Now we see the detail for Miguel Mariotti yet again. He's in 8th. Jean Mascarello is in 1st, then Christian Moore, then Urubatã Jr., then is Marcelo Tomassoni, great effort by Tomassoni. After him is Daniel Correia, excellent job for Daniel Correia, and Márcio Mauro is in 6th, and then Vina Neves in 7th.
Yeah, and that's the end of the session, Sergio. We saw that Nelson Marcondes probably he had a trouble with his setup because he was 3/10 behind the 10th place here. So for the championship leader, a very, very tough start here, and you start in the middle of the pack here in Velocitta, very tough track to overtake. So we'll see here how he handles that, because it's not very good after such a brilliant round 1 in Goiânia for Nelson Marcondes.
Josimar Jr. still on the track. Let's see if he can improve. His 14th overall.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be able to improve, but let's
See
wait
there.
and see. And there we see Nelson Marcondes.
Yeah, I lost the rear there. This turn 1 is it's a very long turn 1, and he probably put the foot in the throttle a little bit earlier there, lost the rear, and cost him the lap that would probably give him a chance to be in the top 10 and fight for pole here.
So, Raijan Mascarello so far is the fastest. And Tomassoni, where is Tomassoni? He's in 4th. So Marcelo Tomassoni, who was fastest on Friday, he is 4th at this point, but we'll have the final session. So many things can happen. We'll have
Peraí que eu posso usar salto, gente. Eu consigo driblar isso daí.
session when we'll find out which will be the pole position for the sprint challenge. You see the final result. Top 10 is still going to be decided in the final session. We have Raijan Mascarello, Christian Moore, and then Urubatã Jr., Marcelo Tomassoni, Daniel Correia, Márcio Mauro, Vina Neves, Miguel Mariotti, Ricardo Fontanari, and Guilherme Botura. These drivers will decide soon who will be the pole position. From 11th down, these are already positions for the grid for the race this afternoon. Nelson Marcondes and Ramon Alcaraz will be on the 6th row. Then after them, Kyo Castro and Josimar Jr., Eamon Darwich and Gustavo Zanon, André Gaidzinski and Nasser Abutaif and Piero Cifali will be in the dead last in the grid for the first race of Sprint Challenge this weekend in Velocitta.
Yeah, and we saw there Raijan Mascarello, the fastest man in the session. He's saying that the pole is important, and he indeed showed that he can fight for pole here after such a great first session. Let's see how he handles in the Q3, Sergio, with only the top 10 going as fast as they can and fighting for the pole position.
Yeah, it will be very interesting. Piero Cifali, we see the detail of his car. As I said, he is going to be last in the grid. But he is starting his career in Porsche Brazil, so you'll be sure, I'm sure he's going to improve. And Guilherme Bottura, great effort by Guilherme Bottura. He's going to the final round. He was 10th fastest in this session, in the first two sessions together, in the combined results. So a great work by Guilherme Bottura. Guilherme Bottura, who in the championship, he's not in a good position. He's 14th overall. But hey, might be a great opportunity for him to improve, Gustavo Faldon.
Yeah, for sure. And Sergio, we have an informant here who is on the Velocitta racetrack. I believe you know him. He's called Eric Gabriel.
Oh yes,
and
great. He works for Motorsport Brazil.
Yeah, and he's saying that there in Velocitta, it's one more challenge to the driver is that it's very windy. It's a very heavy wind, so that surely alters the balance of the car, the balance of the braking. That might explain a little bit why we are seeing so many drivers spin also. And it's not only there in Velocitta. I live, like I said, 200, 300 kilometers away from Velocitta, and it's very windy. It's a very windy day in the state of São Paulo today. So that surely is bringing up a new challenge to the drivers, which adds up to the race conditions.
I've been sticking to that theory.
And you saw there some beautiful images of the Porsche Cup C6 Bank Mastercard 2022. Beautiful images. It's a very, very nice environment, and I really recommend for if you come to Brazil, or if you are in Brazil, and if you're watching this, you come and join the races. And that's Ricardinho Maurício,
passou para ele? Como é que tá sendo esse
big
trabalho seu de
legend
coach dele,
in the Stock Car Brazil.
Um desafio novo,
And he
né?
races
Estive
also
durante
for
10 anos aí com o Dudu Azevedo.
Porsche.
Agora conhecendo um novo piloto, então a gente está encaixando bem até, né? A gente foi super bem lá em Goiânia. E ele é um piloto muito dedicado, tá sempre, você fala com ele consegue reproduzir aquilo que você fala em pista, então acaba sendo gratificante pelo nosso trabalho, que a gente vem aqui poder ajudar eles. E é isso, você acaba passando um pouco das condições. Ontem era um dia muito quente, com pouco vento, hoje o vento está bem forte contra a curva 1, então é um lugar que você consegue abusar numa aproximação, você chega um pouco mais lento, né, que você tem o vento contra, então você consegue abusar na aproximação. A gente fala sobre aquecimento de pneu, hoje está um pouco mais fresco, então tem que aquecer o pneu um pouco mais rápido. Na curva 5 ali, acaba empurrando um pouco mais à frente, né, porque o vento está a favor, então tem que tomar um pouco de cuidado. É esse tipo de toques que a gente vai dando. A gente tenta lapidar mais ele durante os treinos, durante a classificação, entre o último treino e a classificatória, a gente tenta falar menos para também não confundir a cabeça deles e é isso.
Baita análise técnica aqui presente, Ricardinho, Maurício. Muito obrigada. É isso aí.
Obrigado. Vamos lá.
E agora é ir bem
agora
nesse
quadro.
quadro.
Agora eles que se divirtam lá e se virem na pista.
Beleza. Obrigada. Valeu.
Yeah, and there is Ricardo Maurício. He
Uma aula mesmo.
serves as a coach for Porsche Cup drivers, and he's saying that he tries to put a little bit of his experience to the drivers because it's very tricky conditions here with the wind. He mentioned the wind is going up against the turn 1, and Ricardo Maurício is a very experienced driver, a 3-time Stock Car Brazil champion. He has 31 victories in the Stock Car Pro Series, so it's very good that Porsche Cup has him here coaching some of their drivers.
Yeah, and he races as well in the Porsche endurance races, you know, he participates in these races. We still are going to have our Porsche Endurance Championship 2022. Right now we're in the second round of the Sprint Championship, the Porsche Cup C6 Bank MasterCard. And we already have the drivers for the top 10. Rajan Mascarello appears on the top of the charts, but no driver has yet a time. So we are still waiting for these 10 drivers to show their best and to find out who is going to be the pole position for the races this Saturday afternoon that we're going to be able to watch here with us.
Yeah, one thing that was missing.
Yeah, go ahead.
One thing that was missing, Sergio, is that Ricardo Maurício serves as a coach for Christian Moore.
Yeah, and it's been, I believe he said it's his first year as a coach for Christian Moore, right?
Yeah, before he was with Edu Azevedo.
Exactly. So he mentioned that, you know, he's still in the adapting the two of them. But I'm sure if I were a racer, I would love to have Ricardo Maurício as my coach. Rajan Mascarello, we see the first car in the set. Then we have Ricardo Fontanari and Christian Moore. These are the three drivers that we see there going together, and Christian Moore goes far behind. And then now we have number 1 is Urubatán Jr.
Yeah, and Christian Moore, who was the pole position there for Saturday's race in round 1 in Goiânia. Let's see if he can here repeat what he did in Goiânia.
We see Vina Neves and then Urubatán Jr. Vina Neves opens for Uruba Jr. to pass. They are going to start. Urubatán Jr. should start his one fast lap now. If he's going to set up. Christian Moore is the fastest, then Fontanari. Oh, Urubatán Jr. He was already in the fast lap, but I believe they will improve their laps, Gustavo. And what we saw in the Carrera Cup, that the drivers waited until less than 8 minutes to go to the track. This time around with the Sprint Challenge drivers, they went right in the beginning of the session. They were already with their cars working on the track.
Yeah, they're not wasting any time here. Try to set up the fastest lap, and we see there Rajan Mascarello is gonna put in his first flying lap here. Let's see how he fares up with over 5 minutes to go here in the session.
Marcel Mauro is on top right now. Marcel Mauro having a great work. Actually, it's Marcelo Tomassoni. Yeah, Marcel Mauro number 11, then Marcelo Tomassoni is in second. Urubatan Jr. after him. Daniel Correia is in fourth. And we have Guilherme Botura in fifth. Montanari is now on top. Oh, and now we have Christian Moore. Christian Moore got the fastest time, 1:34.77. It's Fontanari in second, Marcel Mauro. That's Botura, that's Guilherme Botura. He's trying to improve his time. He's in ninth at this point. Oh, problems.
Ooh.
Problems for number 17, which Ricardo Fontanari. Look what happened to Fontanari. Wow.
You went way beyond the track there.
Yeah, I'm sure he's happy. The area is huge for him to lose, because to lose control. Because if there were a wall there or something, look at that.
Let's see here. Yeah, it's very odd because he cut the track there. Yeah, because that is a part of the track where you go full throttle. You just slightly steer the steering wheel right. So it's a very, very strange incident there.
There comes Christian Moore. Let's see if he improves his time. Christian Moore, he goes to third. There we have Marcelo Tomassoni, who is second. Marcelo Tomassoni is preparing to do a fast lap. He's warming up his tires. He was the fastest on Friday. Was fastest by far, and his flying lap on Friday was at the very last minute. So I'm looking forward to see what Marcelo Tomassoni is going to do.
Great lap by Rajan Mascarello, 1:30.236, less than a tenth ahead of Tomassoni here, Sergio. And Tomassoni was saying that he was a little bit rusty, etc. Well, he's doing pretty well. He's here with the second fastest lap in the session.
Marcelo Tomassoni trying to get the pole position for the sprint challenge in Velocitta. Got another whoa!
That's very dangerous.
That was close. That was very, very close.
Very, very dangerous there. And I think that's Fontanari again.
Yes, that's Marcel Mauro coming here. He avoided. And now everybody is aware of what's going on. Now it's easier.
Look at Miguel Mariotti. Miguel
Mariotti, yes.
That was him.
That's Tomassoni. 1 minute and 30 seconds to go in this final qualifying session. We'll find out who is going to be the pole position for the race this afternoon. Race starts around 1 p.m. Brazilian time, 12 p.m. Eastern time, 4 p.m. GMT, and you'll be able to follow us here for the Porsche Cup in Brazil, which is the Porsche Cup C6 Bank Mastercard 2022 in Brazil.
Less than a minute to go, Sergio, so drivers are maybe putting up their last lap here. Let's see if anybody can beat Rajan Mascarello.
Yes, and that was what I was going to say, Gustavo. He's still there. You see going slow, Daniel Correia, who is fourth. That's Mascarello. And that's Botura. Guilherme Bottura right now, he's the pole position for the sports class. So he's doing really well, Guilherme Bottura, 6 overall. Let's see if he's able to stay at this point, at this position. There comes Guilherme Bottura.
Clock runs out, so whoever is on a fast lap is on a fast lap. That's not the case for Bottura. He's starting to slow down.
It's very slow, yes.
So it seems that
Tomassoni, yeah.
Yeah, Christian Moore already in the pits, Daniel Correa in the pits, Rajam Mascarello in the pits. So I think
Tomassoni's trying. Tomassoni's trying.
Let's see here.
He got too much traffic, but let's see if he can do something. Traffic didn't help Marcelo Tomassoni, but he's trying. That's what he has to do. Right now he's second in the grid. Let's see Tomassoni if he's able to get the pole position. If not, he'll be second. He'll receive the checkered flag. And Tomassoni stays in second. He's not able to improve. Too bad for him, but anyway, it's a very good position in the starting grid. And Rajam Mascarello gets the pole position, Gustavo Faldon.
Yeah, great practice session. Great qualifying session for him. He said before the session that it's very important to have a pole position. He stayed in the first session in first, and then in the top 10, he confirmed his pole. That's his second career pole in the sprint challenge for Rajam Mascarello.
He was 98 thousandths of a second faster than Tomassoni. It was very, very tight, Faldon. Less than 1/10 of a second.
Agora vamos ouvir as palavras dele, que tá feliz demais, hein, Rajam?
Let's listen to Rajam Mascarello.
Foi massa. Foi ótimo. Primeiro no Quali, o Q1 foi primeiro e agora repetimos a dose. Eu acho que foi excelente, o trabalho foi perfeito. Que nem eu te falei ontem. A nossa meta é a corrida, mas a gente aqui sempre tem que largar na frente porque é muito difícil ultrapassagem aqui.
Principalmente nessa pista, né, Rajam?
Aqui é complicado, aqui é bem difícil ultrapassar, então vamos puxar o pelotão. Espero que a gente continue nas 2, 3 curvas seguintes em primeiro ainda, né? Deus quiser, vai dar certo.
Isso aí, a gente fala lá no grid. Obrigada, parabéns.
There is Rajam Mascarello saying it was an excellent qualifying session for him, a perfect job from him and the team. And he's saying that his goal is obviously to win the race, and he's saying that in Velocitta you have to start in front because it's very hard to overtake in this track, Sergio.
Yeah, so we have Rajam Mascarello, then Tomassoni, Christian Moore and Daniel Correa will start in the second row, then Ricardo Fontanari and Guilherme Bottura. I really like the effort by Guilherme Bottura. Then Miguel Mariotti and Márcio Mauro, Vina Neves and Urubatan Jr. This will be the top 10 for the Sprint Challenge race this Saturday afternoon. And Guilherme Bottura will be the pole position for the sports class. So that's a really great work for him. And Christian Moore end up third, Gustavo Faldon, but we cannot forget that, he won race 1, and he is really a driver that will have to be paying attention in the race this Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, and for Rajam Mascarello, Sergio, he's second in the standings in the championship with 28 points, and with Nelson Marcondes starting out of the top 10, he may have his championship chances here starting to grow, and we see you in the afternoon, Sergio.
See you all. Thank you for watching.